So today we're going to continue doing the unpopular opinions videos, even though I haven't done one in like a whole ass year. But that doesn't matter, guys. Today I have with me somebody who I assume nobody that watches me knows because she has never been part of my channel's videos. But do you want to introduce yourself to the people?
No.
Oh, totally fair. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.
I'm Fiona, or Fee. Nobody watches my videos because I've like tried once, but like not doing anything anybody wanted to see. It was just me like arsing about on like Dead by Daylight or like Minecraft or whatever. I can't even remember. It's been that long. I am qualified to give my thoughts on this season because I am Scottish and I have opinions.
Oh, totally. So before we begin, for the people to kind of further understand where your taste is at, give me your 5 favorite queens that have ever been on the show, maybe your favorite season.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. Well, favorite season is season 6 of the US. I don't care. Like it just is. So many iconic queens on that season. Taste? I don't have taste. I just don't. I'm not a fashion person. I just look at it and I go, do I think that looks good or do I think they look like wet lettuce? You know,
I mean,
like
that's great enough, honestly. Also, last but not least, before we start with the first opinion, who's your favorite Spice Girl?
Oh damn. Loaded question. Unpopular opinion. I don't listen to the Spice Girls.
Totally fair. The first question is actually from the UK2 unpopular opinions videos I was supposed to do with a queen from that season, but we weren't able to do it for reasons related to contracts and such. We might do it in the future, who knows? So I took that from that video because it's important for this season as well and for, well, the first 3 UK seasons. And it's from Over the Moon with Me, who says, I feel like Drag Race UK would really benefit from making the last episode a pitch for the web series because in their opinion, that's the deciding factor for the winner, or that should be the deciding factor for the winner. What do you think?
I mean, absolutely. Like, I completely agree with that. Drag Race US is very much a show that you're the best at being a drag queen, at being what Rue thinks is a drag queen. Sorry, like, better correct myself there. And we give you money.
Yeah.
Here, it's you're competing to win a web series. You're competing to be marketable. Prove that you're marketable. Like, go full on, like, Apprentice style, pitch, board meetings, budgeting. Like, I want to see queens who can't do math. Like, nobody needs another RuPaul single.
Yeah,
like, we had like 3 in this season.
Yeah, I was about to say that I think the remix of a Ru song should be kept for All Stars, but even then, just like, guys, you know, that thing's got a top Reggie Rochu or even like Kitty Girl. So like, why are we even trying anymore? So I think it's time to shake it up. No connection to the Disney show.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, we peaked with the first season's song, like Break Up. With that, that was peak.
I still have that on my phone.
Yes, the Frock Destroyers version is on my phone. Like, none of the rest of them. Like, don't get me wrong, BDE beats UK Hun for me. I hated UK Hun, but we don't need that as well. Hey, hey, Christmas, wish list, Christmas, you know.
It does sound like that, though. I hate that it really does.
I'm sure that is their way of going. These queens are marketable because they can market my shit rather than they can market themselves. Like,
well, yeah, I wonder what percentage of the earnings from those songs from iTunes or Spotify or whatever, like what percentage do the queens get? So yeah, I think the pitch for the web series should be like the last challenge fully, like actually have a winner at the end of the challenge and that's the winner of the season. And maybe like, because, you know, you could reach the end and be like Ella, you know, she had 4 wins. She never was in the bottom 2. You had Krystal, who kind of, you know, was great in the beginning, but then kind of fizzled out. So it's like to make it fair, let's say that the queen that did the best up until that point, let's give them a budget. I don't know how much would be enough, but let's say that in the top 3, the one that did the best gets like, I don't know, £400, if that's even enough to make like a demo or a pilot or something. The second best would get like 200 and the third best would get 100. And it's like, if the third best with like the least amount of money wins that, then that's impressive.
But like, you know? Fair play. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, fair play. You should have done better up until this point in order to actually get there, you know?
I mean, yeah, you could do it either way. It's just like the All-Stars dilemma of, do you go on track record or how they do in the actual day? I mean, you could just say, well, everyone who's got to the final has got to the final because they're good enough to be here. Clean slate, everybody pitch your thing and then pick the best pitch. I mean, it would also give people more to talk about. Rather than, well, I think you'll find that in the fourth bar of the chorus the second time through, Krystal stepped on her left foot and then dropped on the third beat, whereas she should have dropped on the second beat. You know, her verse was shit. You know, rather than, well, yeah, she's already proved and everyone's already said that she can't sing or dance. Like.
Exactly, and I'm supposed to believe that.
So we're gonna make her sing and dance again and tell her she was the best.
And also edit the episode in a way that's like, no, you're supposed to see this person as the winner. Which, like, again, to each their own. We all like different things. Oh well. Okay, the next one is from Patreon from Andrew Jack, and it goes: Kitty Scott-Claus should have been low in episode 1. Especially seeing what she's capable of later in seasons, the looks are kind of boring and simple. Other queens in that episode were low or in bottom 2 for not going big enough, so why wasn't she?
It's very hard not to, but you can't use like future information, like in hindsight, for a queen's placing. But absolutely, she should have been she should have been at the bottom because right, I went through all of them and just thought, right, do I know what this is? Because it was meant to be something from your hometown type thing. Like, if I look at Anubis, that is obviously like Helter Skelter and ice cream. That is obviously like Brighton Pier, all the rest of it. I look at Kitty and I'm like, chocolate? Really? And then her second look isn't ABBA. Her second look is Mamma Mia.
Yeah, my favorite things, yeah.
I don't know whether that's her being told that actually it was it's an ABBA look. Or
possibly, yeah, maybe because of the copyright stuff, but then...
But that's definitely a look for Mamma Mia rather than like an ABBA look. It's not, I can't even say that's ABBA inspired. It is so short. Like the two looks are the exact same. That and her entrance look, they're all like the exact same, cut and shape as well.
Yeah, like you said, thinking like with future knowledge about episode 1's placements, it's like the thing with presentism. Like, you're not supposed to judge things in the past based on like what we hear and now think. Yeah, exactly. But I kind of agree.
Yeah, like am I saying that was really obviously an octopus and like sea creatures and stuff? No, I'm not saying that at all. And Veronica's, like, I know a bit about Rochdale, but I wouldn't look at that and think, yes, cotton mills. But the only one I had like a no for both of them was Kitty.
I think in that first episode in general, there were a lot of things where I personally was like, like, for example, Victoria Scott, like her look, I was like, so
it was just the fact they were like, okay, now you've got a lip sync.
Yeah, I mean, other than that, now you got a lip sync and bust your knee. I'm not saying that RuPaul personally broke her knee. I'm insinuating, no. But I'm shocked that that Charity was safe.
Oh yeah, exactly. Like, come on. The thing is though, like, I don't know whether it's just because it's like US focused, but like red rose, people are like, oh yeah, that's just like England, like the rose is like England's flower, which is true.
Possibly, yeah. But
it's it's the House of Lancaster. Like, that is a very historic thing. Red rose and white rose, like a huge thing.
They hear House of and they're like, oh, Game of Thrones, and no. Next one, again from Patreon, it comes from Killer Frost. They say that this was one of the worst and most unmemorable casts in Drag Race history. Now, this is a little touchy because I think when we say cast, people are going to assume that we're talking about those people, like human people directly. But guys, the show that we watch, you do not actually see those people. You see characters of them. You see edits of them. So we're talking about, for example, Kitty Scott-Claus, the character in RuPaul's Drag Race UK3, not the person portraying the drag character of Kitty Scott-Claus for a living. Let's just figure things out. What do you think?
Like, on top of that, it's not even like, here's this person's drag persona. It's, here's a caricature of this person's drag persona. And like, we're gonna take their confessionals and like make them look even worse. Scarlett always being shown as like yelling. No, that's what people do in East London. That is generic East London. Like, worse than unmemorable. I can understand saying unmemorable because there was no, I feel very attacked or anything like that, or bitch, I am from Chicago. Like, there are none of those like moments, I guess, in this season. But like, where were they in the first 2 seasons of UK, really? I mean, other than for me, so I'm drawing the depression on. Like, but that just like was so relatable. don't know whether that was just me.
I think people are comparing it too much to UK2, which I think had some, again, I'll say this, UK2 had some great queens, but it also had some queens that are just like not the most memorable, let's say that. But then again, worst or unmemorable and all that, that's all subjective. The other day, I was trying to remember all 12 queens from Drag Race UK2, and I was always stuck at 11. And I was like, who's the 12th? Who's the 12th queen? And then I remember it was Veronica Green. Why? Because I like now relate her to UK3. So it all comes down to like what you like, how you feel about these queens. Personally, I don't think that this is one of the worst casts. I think there are some seasons of Drag Race, like US seasons, that can very much so contend with this one. But
yeah, I mean, if you're not going to have, those sort of quotable, the cheek, the nerve, the audacity, the goal, and the gumption, you're not going to have those sorts of moments in this season, then like people are going to say that. So I do get it. Worst cast? No. Unmemorable cast? Possibly.
Possibly. Well, you quoted Kase now. Kase was kind of the funny confessional queen for season 3. It was Kitty, mostly. And I think that why Kitty's quotes aren't as memorable is because most of her quotes were quotes of other people. Like, she has many references, but like, I don't remember much of what she said other than like impersonating Gemma Collins, impersonating the girl from Girls Aloud, or whatever.
Nadine Kyle.
So for the fourth one, we have double whammy, or well, 2 comments. The first one comes from Patreon, and it goes, River should have made it to the finale with 4 wins. Now, that's a little extreme, so I found a similar comment.
Okay, that was not the prompt you gave me, Jesus.
Yeah, that's a little extreme. But the Tamar comment, Tamar Braxton, goes, I don't think it's necessarily unpopular, but in their opinion, in this person's opinion, River was a serious contender for the crown, and if the season had been judged, like, let's say, more fairly, she would have been the winner of the design challenge and commercial. Thoughts?
Okay, so first of all, nobody should have won the commercial challenge. Like, I've rewatched it this morning. Nobody should have won. The right decision. I can't believe I'm saying this. The right decision was made. Was River a contender? I'd say so. But Snatch Game was really where it was at because, like, both of those were a no. Like, that fruity look was a no, and Amy Childs was a no. Like, design, I'd say she was maybe like 3rd for me.
Same. She was really good, but I don't think there was enough of the look.
I mean, some of her looks were stunning.
Oh,
the expensive look was gorgeous. Like, it's hard to say that it's hard to categorically say that somebody is or is not a contender. Like, they're on there, that they're good enough.
Obviously. Like I talked about in the video when I predicted the winner, and I very stupidly was like, oh, I'm gonna risk it to say Ella is going to win while fully knowing that Krystal was going to win. I'm stupid like that, but
I'm so edgy.
And so edgy, you guys. I think that River could have been fully like a top 3 queen. One, had the show known what her potential was, or like where it laid, and on the other thing, if they just gave her a better edit.
I think she's the sort of queen where if she was on like the US, we'd be like all-stars queen.
Oh yeah. We're like, we like, know that she's not going to win, but we're like, oh, you're gonna do great when they get you on All Stars.
I mean, the level of charisma you have to sell, I know this look is shit and it's a reference to a statue that nobody knows about, but I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, but I'm gonna do it and make it as like the most memorable part.
And I know that my second look is terrible.
Just for the fun of it, after her elimination, what other challenges could she have won to get to that like 4 challenge? Acting, I don't know.
Well, here's the thing: she might have done well at the Fugly Ball.
Is that a read?
No, just in terms of like actually being able to make her own stuff.
Fair, that's fair, and
because that was like, one of the first things we find out is that she makes her own stuff.
In general, just going into the challenge, she has an advantage because, like with most design challenges of Drag Race, the smaller you are, the more material you have to work with. Thus, you have more avenues to explore with your designs, and thus there's more opportunities for you to present a better look. So yeah, maybe she would have done well there. The roast, would she do? Possible, I don't know. So first one, and I think we'll have a lot to talk about for this one. Choriza should not have been in the bottom for Snatch Game, and then there was a similar comment on YouTube that she should not have been in the bottom 2 for Snatch Game because we also should look at the runways. And this person on YouTube also adds that Vanity should have been up against River in that bottom 2 lip sync. Well, Vanity was saved that episode, so if anyone should have been looked at like for their runway, it would have been Krystal. But then Krystal had a really cool look. Should Krystal just be bumped up to the safe place for having a good look while not really being the greatest in the Snatch Game? It's a lot of like semantics,
Yeah, I mean, and Snatch Game's very like, it's very personal. Like, you either get it or you don't.
Yeah.
For me, I had 5 queens who were a miss on Snatch Game, and then 2 who were also a miss on the runway. So those are the 2 who should have been in the bottom.
I think that Choriza, I liked her runway look. I
Yeah,
even like the
runway
thing.
was gorgeous.
I even think the thing with like the stickers on fruit that were on her ass, and that's like silly, funny. I don't see anything wrong with that. Yeah, nice.
No.
I think that her runway look should have saved her. If you're going to
say that Vanity's look saved her, then you have to say that Choriza's look saved her.
Yeah.
Surely.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Because they both missed in Snatch Game.
True.
The ones I had as like complete misses for like both Snatch Game and the look was, like I said, River. But like, I mean, I don't know whether it's because she wasn't the only Towie character.
That possibly, but I don't think it would have been funny even without that.
No, probably not. But that look was, she could have aced Snatch Game, and that look was, the other one was Scarlett.
Yeah, well, let's talk about it. I'm very ready for that. I get it from the sense that it's like RuPaul finds this funny, and she went with it. She played it smart. Perfect. But she did not answer the runway theme. And in the challenge, the thing that she repeated a lot was the punchline of her jokes, which she didn't have any because that stuff was not funny.
Yeah, basically. I mean, like, here's the thing. River showed how you do this very well. You know that something is going to make Ru laugh, so you keep doing it. And then Scarlett has also managed to find something that makes Ru laugh, and so is doing it. But nobody else is finding it fun. Like, imagine, like, cast your minds back. Imagine if Jaden Dior Fierce's Raven, like the fucking I'm having a premonition look. Imagine if Ru loved that. Imagine the universe where Ru was like, that's it, that is the thing. That is the equivalent thing that's happened right here.
Exactly. It's the exact same, like, okay, here's a gimmick for my answers. But the difference is that for Jaden, the whole premonition thing, that wasn't the punchline for her. Like, she had a joke or at least something to say, if not a joke afterwards. Where for Scarlett, her only thing was, screaming. Yeah. So the guest judges, including Alan and Graham, have been the best part of this season, which I think is quite shady of a comment, because it just insinuates that there wasn't anything better than that. However, Alicia Dixon, honestly, they should have crowned her.
Lulu.
Yes, and Emma Bunton
fucking
too.
Lulu. No, just Lulu said that because she's so petite and amazing and just small, and actually from like just up the road from me. So I'm just like, originally, yeah. And like Eurovision, like, come on, like, she's just an icon. Eurovision winner, Scottish. So like.
Can I just say that I did not know that she was like 70 something. I saw her and I was like, this like, 40-year-old kid.
No, how dare you? But just sitting there, just like, or I could just give him a blowjob, and like everyone just dying.
No, yeah, the guest judges really were kind of the best of the best.
Who did we have? Matt Lucas.
Fantastic.
Oti Mabuse, who's amazing, beautiful, also, stunning.
The best name ever.
I mean, she's beautiful, she's perfect, like. Nicola Coughlan, who I adore. But, from Derry Girls, from Bridgerton, like, she's just so funny and so sweet.
Yeah.
Emma Bunton, like, need I say more? Similarly, Leanne Pinnock, need I say more? Like, Alicia motherfucking Dixon.
It's like episode after episode, it was just hit after hit after hit.
Russell Tovey was actually so funny.
Yes, and also
Kathy Burke.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's always great when they bring on comedians, because first of all, you have a lot of them there. Comedians know how to do a panel. Like, they know how to be panelists. They know how to be judges. They know how to, make the show entertaining while also helping the people that they're judging.
Yeah, I feel like the comedians, they're almost like the most sympathetic. Like, they give constructive criticism rather than just like, you were shit.
Michelle massaging their way through the... Yeah.
The guest judges were phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like, not a single miss.
Scarlett should have got eliminated in episode 4. She lost the lip sync fair and square to the point that she was literally watching Charity lip sync. I do think Charity would lose to Vanity in the next lip sync because producers or the judges would have definitely put her in the bottom that they were gunning for her in episode 5. Do I think that Scarlett 100% definitely, etc., lost the Who Do You Think You Are lip sync? I don't think that. But do I think that lip sync was fantastic and double Shantae worthy? Absolutely not.
Oh, I mean, question 3. Should Charity have even been there?
Should Charity have been in any of her bottom 2 placements? Is it, but yeah.
Am I tripping, or wasn't it the 2 of them against each other the following episode anyway?
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
And she again should not have been there.
It's insane how many filler episodes there are in this season. There are like 3 episodes that you can just skip and be like, oh, I'm not missing out on anything.
It was obvious they wanted to double Shantae like from the beginning anyway. Do I think Scarlett should be limited? I actually put absolutely. Like, if you're saying, like, if you're basing it just on these looks, she's in the bottom. And then should Charity have even been there?
No.
Like, your bottom placed queen is Scarlett. The thing is, though, if you take Charity out and you say that there was a winning group, but only like one of them actually won, but today you'll be judged as individuals because fuck you, like, who else do you put in the bottom?
Let's do this. Let's say one person from each group is in the bottom 2. I think obviously from the losing group, it's Scarlett because like
it's Scarlett.
Yeah.
Like.
From the winning group, I think it's between. No, it's Vanity. I think Ella. I mean,
between who, bitch?
No, that's it. I wanted to say between Vanity and Choriza, but then I was like, but Choriza had a verse, like she rapped in Spanish, like she kind of broke the. She was that little extra spice, no pun intended, in their performance. So it's like
she worked to her strengths.
Exactly.
And I mean, as somebody who knows next to nothing really Spice Girls related, if I look at the looks, I'm like, if I was to say it was a Spice Girls look, Choriza's is one of the ones where I'd be like, oh yes, that look.
Yeah, because the Union Jack.
Also, River wasn't ginger. River was like actual straight up red hair, a red wig. Should Scarlett have gone home? Probably yes.
Probably. Especially, like, again, we're looking at it from, future point of view where we know how the season goes. She didn't have much of an impact after her first win. So, like, she could have gone home. Why not? Let's make the season shorter.
I mean, like, did she lose the lip sync against Charity?
No.
Should Charity have even been there?
But also no.
If Charity wasn't there, she would have been against Vanity. Would she have won against Vanity?
No.
I hope that was clear.
Next one. Episode 3's top 3 should have been River, Krystal, and Charity, with Charity winning. Now hear me the fuck out.
Yes, next question.
Yes. Do we even, are we supposed to discuss?
Here's the thing. Like, I'm looking at this and going, well, yes. Who won? Like, placements for this? Like,
I remember that there were some people that were like, oh, but Charity couldn't have been up there because she didn't finish her garment. No, the point was for her ass to be exposed.
Like, it looks finished.
And yeah, exactly. It looks finished. It looks, great, obviously. And she did something that not many queens tend to do. Sometimes when there's like a challenge where they present a runway that they brought from home and a runway that they made, or a look that they made there. She coordinated the 2 looks. They seem like looks from the same or at least like a similar universe, which I think should also, be applauded. Since Anubis can sing, act, so she has great looks and she can be funny occasionally. I just love how this was worded. She can be funny occasionally. I think she would have made it far had it not been rigged against her.
You say it's funny how it's worded. I think it's worded like, well, if I say all of these things, they're going to come for me on one of them. I'm going to make it look like I've thought about this. It's very hard to say. If you just look at on face value what you were shown in the season, you were shown them saying all this stuff and then nothing happening.
Yeah.
Maybe they're fantastic. I mean, like, we're not gonna know.
Judging by the looks that, Anubis posted on Instagram, yes, the looks would have been really nice to see. But then in the challenges, like how well would she done? Like, yes, she can sing, act, whatever, but that doesn't matter if she cannot do that in the challenge. Like, think of Jujubee back in season 2 when they did the whole singing thing. She's the best singer of that group. Did she win that challenge because she can sing? No, she was in the bottom 2 that episode.
And I find it very hard to judge it based on, well, here's what I would have done. It's like, well, you've not done it under like the same conditions or anything. Yeah. It's like, well, if you have like 45 minutes or whatever it was to like change from one full face and hair and outfit into another one, from one you've made into something else, are you going to look as good as you just did on your Instagram post?
I mean, of course not, because on Instagram you also have, editing and filters and whatnot.
About the rigged part, they do make a huge deal about bring in the weird quote unquote young queen, make everyone repeat again and again and again just how young she is. Oh my god, just to show her up by having Krystal coming in immediately after, and then they don't make a big fuss about her age, really. I mean, they have kitties like another one, you know, like yeah. It did feel very much like, here's the right kind of drag queen you want to be, especially if you're young. This is amazing. You were born to do drag because you look this good. And then there's this is wrong. Why do camp drag?
I think for Ru, it's like, oh, you're young. You're supposed to be like, oh, look at me. I'm hot and sexy and whatnot.
I mean, yeah, not to go too like in depth on that, but like it's somewhat extremely reinforcing all of the stereotypes and pressures put on like women IRL. Like, you're young, you're supposed to do all the beautiful shit, use your beauty while you have it, you know, flaunt your youth, etc. And when you get older, it's like, well, bye. I think that Anubis had a lot of promise. I don't think she was picked to be on this show to be the next drag superstar. I think she was picked to
be the antithesis kind of Krystal's.
Yeah.
And speaking of Krystal, people hate Krystal for the same reason that they love queens like Gigi Goode, Simone, Kylie, Gottmik, etc. They're all skinny, pretty queens with not so much personality, although Krystal was just 19 years old at the time of recording the season, so there's that. Do people hate Krystal? I mean,
that was my reaction, like...
I'm not on social media, so I don't know, but do they hate her? Is that the consensus?
Given the way in which certain winners of certain seasons appear to have been picked by their popularity on social media before now, I would be very surprised if the overall feeling was that people hate Krystal.
True. Maybe people are disappointed by her win, but that's not the same as like
that's not the same,
her.
exactly.
Yeah. Also, I don't think that it's fair to say that the queens listed here are queens with not so much of a personality, because that's kind of going by RuPaul's definition of personality, which is just being loud. And
by what they're like edited to show as well. Like
that too, yeah. Because like Gigi Goode, okay, sure, she was more of a look queen, and maybe her personality did not come through on season 12 because that season had to be heavily edited in a very short amount of time with everything that happened with Cherry Pie. Simone literally with personality, whichever way you want to look at it. Kylie also, just because she's like a little more demure doesn't mean that she doesn't have a personality. Gottmik, same thing. I don't get that thing, and this is a very US thing, that it's like the bigger the better. Well, no.
Yeah, that's going back to like why the UK seasons aren't working, is because it's been trying to like be US facing, and it's like, well, US comedy is very much James Corden, ironically, but like it can be very nuanced over here and very subtle.
Yes, also very like self-deprecating, very sarcastic and ironic.
Yeah.
Very dry as well, but it doesn't translate well to US comedy.
I can understand like the hating, if they're saying that, oh yeah, you're just hating them because they're just being presented as like fashion queen with no personality. Like, I mean, thinking about Gigi and thinking about Krystal, they literally both had to be robots.
Oh yeah. And Gigi also won the Snatch Game. Hello? Like,
I mean, she chose to be a robot, I guess, but like...
we can't fully talk about them having or not having personalities, because maybe some of them are just trying to hide that from the camera, because they know that it can be edited the way that to show them as negative.
Or maybe Krystal was actually struggling. Like, it did become clear near the end of the series that she was finding it really, really tough. So you just put up this wall. You don't want to show everybody that sort of crap. And nor should you have to.
Exactly.
And whereas that can be edited away in the US seasons, there are like a lot stricter rules, so like, because it's being run by BBC, about what you can and cannot do when editing things. So it's just maybe that she's just got the raw end of it on that side. But like, I'm not sure I agree, basically.
Yeah.
Just like, that's it. That's the end of the channel. He's dead. He's not coming back. Like...
this is the final video. I'm killing myself right after this.
They're going to be so confused when they find this note. Like,
any final thoughts?
Why?
Perfect.